Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of year again. The Game Awards are just 1 month away, which means it's time for some juicy speculation as to whether or not Starfield will be making an appearance at the Game Awards 2021. How is it going, everybody? My name is DamarcoDude, and when it comes to this discussion, there's one particular thing I want to nip in the bud right away, which is, it's an argument that's come up in the past, it's an argument that I feel like we'll see again, and that is, well, Skyrim was revealed at the Game Awards, which means it's possible we might see Starfield at the Game Awards as well. Unfortunately, no. Skyrim, as many of you know, was first announced at the Game Awards in 2010. It's been a long time since then. I know it doesn't feel like it, but it really has been a long time since then, and Bethesda no longer has had much of a presence at the Game Awards since. They preferred to wait until E3. Now, the reason for this change is actually pretty simple to understand. Bethesda started, I think the first was in 2015, BE3, their own Bethesda conference where they had the entire stage floor to themselves to show off their games, which meant they needed to fill up that time with something. It also means they're going to hold off on showing some big things at the Game Awards because they need to fill up that time at E3 for their own showcase. Things have changed since then. They're now part of the Microsoft showcase. We'll be talking about that in just a bit. But with the exception of Skyrim's presence at the Game Awards, the only thing that's really been there that's had any sort of presence is going to be ESO. And I wouldn't put Starfield or ESO in nearly the same bucket. They're at least like 6 to 8 buckets apart from one another. So in regards to, well, Skyrim's there or ESO's there, that has no indication that we might see Starfield there as well, just because Bethesda is making an appearance in some capacity. I want to also bring up this small snippet here, most of you probably know about, which is from Todd Howard's Reddit AMA. I feel like a lot of people might point to this and say, here it is, concrete evidence, Starfield will exclusively be at E3, but I don't think this can be interpreted as such black and white. Todd is, of course, responding to the idea of massive innovations, which wouldn't technically be shown off through a simple teaser trailer, so to use this as a de facto evidence isn't 100% accurate. But Microsoft's purchases Bethesda really throws in a bit more of a wrench than we've seen in the past as to the possibility of seeing something Starfield related this year. Because Microsoft and Bethesda are both sharing a stage floor at E3, it means there's less time given to any one property. They have to get through all of the Microsoft things first, and then they also have to get through all the Bethesda things. And then on top of that, we know that Bethesda is more or less independent from Microsoft in a lot of regards, based on what we've been told in the past. Does that extend to the marketing as well? If Phil Spencer walks in the room and says, "Hey Todd, really want to show off that cool new game Starfield you got going on at the Game Awards. You think you got something for me? Yeah, but we really don't know if it just works yet or if it has, 32 times the details. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that." All right, no problem, Todd. See you at E3. We really don't have that much insight into exactly how this plays out and what the exact structure is, so we're left kind of guessing. Now, the marketing for Starfield 2 has been significantly different since the previous Bethesda releases. Of course, they announced this much earlier. We know the reason why, to show people kind of the roadmap for Bethesda. We also know that they've been showing teasers just to give people something to look forward to. The wait has been long. Bethesda knows the wait is long. Hey everybody, Editing Mike here. I wasn't sure if I was originally clear with the point I was trying to make in all of this. Basically, what I'm saying is, since Bethesda's marketing has been so different for Starfield, does that mean they might further break their tradition by showcasing Starfield at an event they normally don't have much presence at? Don't know if I was just coming off as rambling a bit, but hopefully that clears some stuff up. We did see Starfield at E3 2021. Again, was that Microsoft's decision or Bethesda's decision? I'm leaning towards the latter simply because it had been a really long time since anything Starfield related had come out at that point. And then, of course, there's the developer diaries, but all things considered, they do give us a look into the lore of the game, but they don't really show us the game itself. We don't know how the combat works, the gameplay works, the leveling system is, what the character customization is like, what the map is like. It leaves much up to the imagination. With all of this together, I don't think it really gives a concrete enough argument to say, yeah, we are going to probably see something at the Game Awards. In fact, I kind of still think the exact opposite. You might see some discussion centered around the fact that yes, Starfield was nominated for the most anticipated game of 2022, but last year or so was Elden Ring and we didn't actually see anything there. It was just kind of a small little segment that came and went. Even if Starfield were to win the award, I don't think it's indicative of a trailer or a new teaser or anything of the sort. So ultimately, is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Is it likely? Probably not. I think when you take a look at E3 in particular, there's so many more eyes that are focused on watching E3, and that's probably the biggest decision factor when it comes to Bethesda as to where they want to show more of the game off. Whether it is similar to the trailer that we got at last year's E3, or if it's just a small tease, you have to keep in mind that the most eyes, the most excitement is towards E3. You might want to say, well, you know, they could do it to get more people excited for E3. No, they don't need to. This game is anticipated enough. We know that it's going to be at E3. They don't need to tease it or hype it up any more than what's going to be at the show. For those of you who aren't convinced or are still going to be crossing your fingers hoping it's there, what I will say is that it's Bethesda's most ambitious game. Their words, their most ambitious game ever. That's on top of being the new IP, the biggest engine upgrade since Morrowind, right? Just so many factors coming together that would allude to Bethesda wants this announcement to be a massive blowout when they do finally show us the game proper. The time to do that isn't going to be PAX, it's not going to be the Game Awards, it's not going to be any other gaming showcase other than E3. And that means we'll get all of Starfield's glory when it's finally announced at E3, that full 30-minute lengthy gameplay demo that gives us an in-depth look at the systems and the customization and the world and everything we could possibly want to see and dissect. It's all going to be waiting for that event for E3. And to be fair, by the time the Game Awards rolls around, it's going to be, what, about 6 months until E3 is going to take place, whether it's virtual or in person. We don't know, but the event's in June, so you have about a 6-month wait until it comes. That's pretty feasible. It's gonna fly by like that. So ultimately, yes, I'll still be looking forward to it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be watching the stream, my eyes glued to say, maybe we'll get something. But realistically, most likely not. We'll have to wait until E3. Although, when we don't see it at the Game Awards, we can be positively disappointed. And I mean that we could be happy about the fact that we're so excited to see it, we're upset that we didn't get to see it, right? You need to feel sad in order to feel happy kind of thing going on. Think of the positives. All in all, though, still something to look forward to. About 40 to 50 games will be featured there on top of announcements in the double digits. Not sure what that means. Probably the lower end, right? Like a dozen or 13, 14, that kind of thing. So, still exciting. Lots to look forward to. It's about the celebration of games. I'll be live streaming it. I hope some of you will tune in. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did. And I hope to see you all next time. So long, everybody.